Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Bark Dialogue, the podcast that teaches dog human communication. Today, we are taking a hard look at rescue centers. There is a common implication that these centers are havens for dogs. It's an idea that gets glorified on social media. But I want everyone who thinks rescue centers are the answer to the dog crisis to actually think. If these organizations were truly the answer, the number of animals in need would have decreased to almost zero by now. Instead, even with major groups like the RSPCA, Blue Cross, and Dogs Trust operating for decades, the plight of dogs is actually getting worse. The reality is that for many of these organizations, the main concern is money and revenues. They use dogs to bring in funding. They make you feel sorry for an animal by highlighting the most desperate cases while doing as little research as possible on the background of potential adopters. They assign dogs to almost anyone who wants one, which is not the conduct of an organization truly on the side of the animal. The first thing a rescue center should do to help is provide education. I believe that the moment someone looks at a dog, they should be given an extensive questionnaire. This shouldn't just be a formality, it needs to be a deep dive into their experience and knowledge of dog behavior in various situations. Centers avoid this because they say it stifles adoption. But I say good. It should be a lengthy process because right now, rescue dogs are being assigned to handlers who should be 100 miles away from a dog. Furthermore, if an adopter passes the questionnaire, the next step must involve spending significant time, days, weeks, or even months with the center's behaviourist. I should note that while many centers claim to have a behaviorist, in reality, none of them actually does. A real professional would help the adopter and the dog experience different situations together. This is vital for reactive or aggressive dogs, where the behaviorist can provide careful training on how to manage and overcome challenging situations. We also have to talk about temperament vetting. Many adopters are unsuitable because they have an anxious or neurotic disposition. When you assign an anxious dog to an anxious handler, you create a cycle where the dog remains forever anxious, unable to walk or meet others calmly. This is the reality for dogs in these centers right now. They have turned from good intentions into money making enterprises run by unscrupulous individuals. To fix this at the root, we need to look toward the future. I want to remind everyone of the petition to implement animal and environmental education in all UK schools. We must educate people on animal human communication and environmental responsibility from a young age to ensure they understand the gravity of these roles. So before you support a rescue center, I am asking you to think. And I'm also asking you to go in the comment section below where you find the link to the petition. Please sign and share far and wide. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast and see you next time.